La ciencia es el futuro. Sin ciencia no hay futuro.
Now we are going to speak English for people, huh? It's possible?
Yes, absolutely.
So you are here in Lima at this University for Engineers. What are you doing? What is your interest in this university?
Okay. So thank you, Professor. So I am invited here by colleagues in UNI in the framework of EcoSNOR project, which is a French bilateral French-Peruvian project. And this project is devoted to the detection of pollutants from mines.
For mining.
And especially cyanide complex with cadmium and other heavy metals which can be released from the mines. So here the Peruvian team is expert in sensors, so in the development and testing of sensors, and the French part that I represent is expert in molecular modeling, so we can use computational chemistry to design more efficient sensors for this kind of application.
How your interest in science began?
Interest science because I was already in science from when I was a little kid, because my father was a professor in university in physics, so he pushed me in some way to do science at high school or beginning of university. And then I was hesitating between teaching and research, and doing a research internship in a bachelor degree. I had the opportunity to discover lab experiments, and I really love that. And then I decided to go to a PhD thesis, and now I'm a professor. So it's I want to stress that research is really a passion, really life passion, more than a job.
Scientific people are all the time traveling. How many countries do you know?
Good questions. I think I have the choice in my job, I think, to visit at least between 10 or 15 countries. In Africa, I go to maybe more than that. I go to Benin and Senegal. I go to Morocco, Tunisia. I go in Middle East in Lebanon. And in South America, I go to Brazil and Peru. I go several times to USA. I go to Mexico and South Africa also as well.
Do you think that this battle against pollution we are winning or losing?
It depends on the politics, I would say, because I would say that scientifically speaking, now there is all the devices and processes to reduce pollution for a reasonable cost, and sometimes with a win-win process, when also the company can also save some money and win some money. So it's more a question of politics. I think, for example, we can have a good example in the past, because everybody is on the news giving some bad news, everything is bad. But for example, a few years ago, we had acid rains, acidic rains. Do you know that it still exists? I think no, because the acid rains in fact becomes of the exhaust gases that release some sulfur or nitrogen in atmosphere, and then create nitric acid and sulfuric acid. And in fact, the government in Europe and USA and Japan decide to reduce the amount of sulfur in the gasoline. Basically, in the 70s, it was 3%. Now it is less than 10 ppm. And in fact, they impose a calendar that every 5 years you reduce the content, and the companies has to follow. And people we sell the cars, and people we prepare the petrochemicals. So, and then it forces the companies to give money to researchers. We can help them and find the solution. So it was called the hydro treatment process. And now, thanks to that, there is no more acidic rains. This is one example. Another one, more short, is ozone hole. Then you replace some fluorocarbon by some others, and now it works. So science can help, but we need politics. If politics impose something, everybody will follow.
And what is your impression in this visit to Peru?
Maybe
Complicated question.
no, maybe I fall in love of Peru because it's beautiful. I don't see much thing, but Lima is very nice, and Peruvian people are very kind, and the food is amazing. Food is amazing with special dishes, the Creole kitchen, and also the fusion food is really nice. But my main concern is that I think that the pollution is not a concern in this country.
Lima is very polluted.
Yes, I see that the level of
Do you feel something?
Yeah, a little bit in the noise. It's in fact there is no public transport here. Everybody has a car, but we can have some filter to be developed. I do that in France to reduce the amount of NOx, so nitric oxide.
The smelling is the first sensor, huh?
Yeah, but it doesn't smell, but you feel, and there is a lot of particles, fine particles. So I think I have checked on my cell phone. This week we are in 10 times more than the OMS recommendation for the level of fine particles in Lima. So I would say that I'm quite happy to stay only 2 weeks. But yes, there is some really effort to do. So depollution of water also is a concern in the mountain. But first, for Lima, depollution of air, and you can development of public transport more, and also maybe there is some devices to put easily to the exhaust pipe of all cars. You can do that. I have worked on this. And for example, in France, we quit the project because we don't need that anymore. We have no NOx or no fine particles anymore released because the cars are recent. But I have to know that it is normal that in Lima there is a lot of old cars because people are working with these cars. So we cannot ask them, okay, and they don't have the money. It's right. But we could implement some devices to limit the pollution.
Yes. Thank you very much, Professor Badami. And I hope this collaboration will begin very well and will be for a long time.
Thank you very much. Muchas gracias.
Muchas gracias, amigos.
Mucho gusto.
Hasta un próximo encuentro con la ciencia. Chao, chao.
La ciencia es el futuro. Sin ciencia no hay futuro.